it appears that the audio from Coach Ogumne was from Kakra. So, welcome to Porcupine Stand at the end of 90 minutes live from the Baba Jara Sports Stadium. And Kitwa in Suo Kakra. Medical catch also in Suo Top. Now let's have some convo. Yending Komo Kakra. Our issues around the game. Yes. You're taking the sound out. Kotoko won by 1-0. The lineup for today. Na Obenya Mohamed Kamara se odem. Na wenya Brantia friend Lord Amwa. Na wenya eye Abrantia. Your friend Patrick Esiedu also played the game. Then along the line, Obenya Abrantia, your friend Joseph Ablos Samba Onel, se almost so AC Akane bi, Ede Ama Kumasi Asante Eye Kotoko, Ewo Eye in Shishenum still. Justice Blay Eye Intimenu ball for a ball echo to the middle for Eye Asante Kotoko, Ewo Eye in Shishenum with players, other players also supporting the wings. You get Saka Dauda, when your Baba had the number 10 through him and a penalty in the by. Then when you Peter Aqua, when you Kwame Poku leading the attack for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. So this was the starting 11 for Asante Kotoko. Well, the first thing that we observed that this is a very, very tactical game, and it was a very, very difficult game for Asante Kotoko. Siya de nokre kan semwa enye matcha Asante Kotoko enya womutri edidi musa. It was a game that they needed to dig deep to bring something special at the end of 90 minutes to pick a win. I mean, let's give credit to Club FN Karela. I mean, solid defense when it comes to how they operated, compact midfield, leaving spaces at the back, lack of almost show clear form of maturity. We saw a Karela teamwork, excellent maturity. Oman making silly mistakes pave way for Asante Kotoko to punish them, and that was the first major observation. In Shenum when it comes to a match I share. Coach Nuruddin, it is quite similar to how he played against Club FN Asante Kotoko. Obuase when it was Kotoko versus Karela. O check Kotoko ne Samates match, you know. Back then when he was the head coach of Samates Altmuse, stretch Kotoko pa. I mean, Kotoko needed a miracle, a classic goal from Albert Amwa to pave way for Kotoko to beat a clubber. Your friend Samates when we played them, Obuase no nene obey obi. So yes, it was a 1-goal-0 scoreline. But it wasn't an easy match for Asante Kotoko. It was a match that was tough. The second major observation was that Yaya Baba, now Baba Yaya, utilizing a movement of experience. So players are when it comes to finding something out of nothing. Baba Yaya chereso ni msaadi eni pa. Se obeyana wa yeye bibina obi de no kanana. We ya ho hwe enye yie. How he can always be the first to the ball. Say ball na air ball no be try so be the first player. Or no eden ho kwa ball no. Into we a player, we a defender, we a striker. And now say we a midfielder. Who diagram tackle no. A be late tackle. And that late tackle no, you have the referee have no other choice than to award the penalty to Asante Kotoko. And then no that level of intelligence be. And then the Baba put two up when they go, you know, and get it tough. I mean, ball no bar. It drew baby a mutimia ding. Because we saw a Kotoko teamer trying to penetrate the defense of Karela. Na omo makwine. I mean, no spaces at the back. Kotoko were also struggling to shoot from a distance. At least Kabe expected say Kotoko be shoot from a distance, but now omuntimi shoot in free distance. Na as some person build the adiko rap box num no mu jemu edema Kwame Poku, but he also realized that was getting difficult because and then the movement of Kwame Poku na any sorosa as compared to the Kwame Poku that we've seen in certain matches, close marking and of course yes, Dauda Saka at that time no decided to take advantage of the attention on a year Kwame Poku to also move, no stealing the lines. Yeah, by stealing the lines, you know, it will create opportunity for him. But the truth of the matter is, no, not ultimate create opportunity. At least it's rounds and hard, but on one kasa enya that control. No, it me the take-ons, I the finishing. Emma Asante Kotoko ni yanka no kre na saka intimi nyese adwuma. So let's give credit to Baba Yaya for that moment of brilliance. I mean, that pass from Peter Aqua was also special. How it me botumu and the decision from Baba Yaya, a little moment, and it created that opportunity. Edema Asante Kotoko. That was another observation. Number 3. Clearly, Kwame Poku and the Kotoko attack was silent by players like Gary Bamo and were Chiriho for Karela United. I mean, almost silent say Kotoko anymore. At the end of the double marking. Juma or Karela Bonum, double marking pa. Now again, they were aggressive. In Sao Chekia, Omuchicha Kotoko players nepa how to force them to lose their balance. Into a bona Uchi we are now waging a ho. Uchi we are now waging a ho. A shorter close marking, over short and enco. And in and Yoma Yehue. And in today's game, you cannot take credit away from Karela. Very, very organized team. And they were that stubborn. In common. Whilst we are talking about their defensive solidity from Karela, we also have to give credit to the Asante Kotoko defense. On the other side of the coin, Asante Kotoko mranti enisu make sure say mama any more funny nya chance and shed ya. Then between Ablo, Blay, Inti Menu, na a special movement. Almost make sure say Omoma Karela team ni nya spaces ewe chiro. I mean, we saw a gamer. You are going to give a lot of credit to Asante Kotoko in team Menu on his hard work. Ewo eye Kotoko eye omechiro Ablo, Samba, and Kamara normally special. Ewo when you are scoring them, you have less negatives about them in this particular game. We cannot talk about this game and ignore Asante Kotoko Mohamed Kamara. Over the week, I'm so happy. Say Asante Kotoko eye Freddy Kasari etimia babak. Makase meni aje pa. Say Freddy Kasari etimia babak. Because clearly, sometimes Kamara feels a bit complacent when he's playing. And then a movement that could have easily caused a lot of panic to the Asante Kotoko team was a ball and unforced error. Yehu Yanse Mohamed Kamara a pia ball na to, and he needed an intensive block, a saving block. Samba koyeye to prevent Karela United from getting a first goal in the first 10 minutes of the match. First 10 minutes goalkeeping error. Now we talk about this because Kotoko at the moment any issues with goalkeeping error from Mohamed Kamara. Match obeya di ebe bonabaso in the next game you realize that the mistake starts coming. So I think the goalkeeping department of Asante Kotoko, the goalkeepers trainers need to speak to him. I mean, ball na a kaki to a kofa yem share by no was ball a goalkeeper so many him. Na to a ball no so. What in common I say? But the who yan so a kuja ball na to and Samba and the ball modding ebe clear ball. So Kamara need to be spoken to. Again, he's been picking certain yellow cards and or picking yellow card for time wasting. Obeka's a time wasting is part of the game because as a goalkeeper you manage the game. But there are so many ways for a goalkeeper to manage a game without necessarily goal kick about obechiato. I'm a referee abema card. What you can do is that either say obeja and to from goalkeeper the top from you are treated on the field. And no beat me sustain a the pressure opponent in a pile also. So the momentum of your opponent's game will instantly drop the intensity and the spirit in a bed drop. Rather than be wasting time because I know I pick yellow. I remember Kotoko Dreams FC picked the yellow. So if you have to go to the records, why shall I not unfortunately next match Kamara and Timiambo? Because I have a feeling we'll pick another yellow card pen. I want to shame for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And these are the things that we are talking about that the goalkeeper's trainer must talk to him. We cannot talk about this game and ignore the goal scorer injustice blame. Medical bo Mike Abranti Efeno Andrew Sintim Menu Abaso. By Ensanka before fro. Normally players extend your contract and Ukraine say Ubon se bono omun se omutia didi mo mababeka team no ne contract e bia na asem no. How they play changes. But we will all be honest with ourselves that you can see the commitment our brand FN just display bonum for Asante Kotoko. There are times when you meet a young midfielder, what you say, meet a young midfielder, more pass, but you can see the experience on the bonum. You can see how all try say, yes, opponent today you beat me, but Obama experience I had more on the bonum to prevent them from beating me. You watch him and you can see the tackles. You can see the interceptions. You can see the aggressiveness in his game for Team FN Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And these are all positives. Ebeka Ediabo Eyekotku Team no Abaso, especially Abrante FN Justice Blay. He's the captain. And as a captain, you are supposed to lead. In Temuya Dia, he had the boldness. When I was watching the game, penalty by, and the question I was asking myself, said, Kwame Poku at the moment were 5 goals in 4 matches. So naturally, you expect say Biancono and a penalty as a striker to at least improve his tally in terms of goals he's scoring. But that was not the story. Justice Blue kofa penalty no and obotu atrem kama yebobo na baso. Let's talk a bit about Coach Ogum in today's game. I'll be honest. Kotoko game against Vision FC. The substitutions did not really add a lot to the game. And then, the substitutions of Asante Kotoko did not add a lot into the game. At a point, Utimu said, the moment Kotoko had substitutions, the team became more defensive and he realized that and another Karela air pile pressure. Asante Kotoko, so you could see the pressure coming in from every angle when it comes to how Asante Kotoko was playing. And to some extent, I think 2 matches running, the substitutions of Coach Ogum has not really been able to improve the quality of performance of the team. And Michael Che Bemu, and surprisingly, Che Ekobo from the wings. In Tinal said, Coach Ogum wanted to play front 2 of a year Kwame Poku and Abrante Fene Samson Eduku, which is no problem because the last time I tried Eduku from the wings, you will say Eduku and Timian Fanshin ye. In Tiania, my fair Duku Ember bought a year, a kind of same front 2, and a catcher was our Kotoko training grounds. It was something I knew who Kotoko training grounds, Palm Yebe kind. Our channel used to the mound said, or the Dukuba not in the Kwame Poku as a front 2. No problem. But the other question is, there is something called a 3-5-2. You have 4-4-2. But 4-4-2 with Michael Che from the right wing, Etimite central trainer na Kotoko one because Kotoko no boy it's Babaya. So what I say? Na Kotoko bo with Intim and Blay. The moment we are free mu, na we sake free mu 2 players. Jayao Peompo, he was the one. No, Jeno attending on Abdul Latif, former King Facer players, having an intensive battle in the middle. And I can watch them during the game. Into a Yaya Frima taking Che to the wings. One or the other, a natural position. Che Hono, a natural wings in a Che natural position. We know Michael Che to be a central midfielder, more in the central zones. So either the neighbor Kaho. I'm on my 3 in the middle. Where you take 1 defender, now I have 3 back. Or playing him from the wings add absolutely nothing to the team. 2 steady here. So double substitutions nearby. I feel nice to lose control over the game. Utimu said, in team men who can nimbe Boni be see a chira, now beka Justice Blepe. Because Michael Che is supporting Lord Amwa on the right side. And it did not help Kotoko. So for 2 matches running, the substitutions of Coach Ogum seem to have Vision FC the any uncanny baby because now Vision Kotoko taking lead in that I 4. Dubaka say team I 4 there. Substitution anya bibi bia assembly anyhow. But in today's game, there was the need to manage the game and yet can okurepa the last 10 minutes to 15 minutes. Na intense pressure. Ewa Asante Kotoko team no so a see a can on how to manage. But all in all, it's a good game. I mean, say you call echo check it a Ghana Premier League table now. It appears that positives kakra etime frima ba Asante Kotoko side because based on the results, I die Nimno Kotoko about that top of the Ghana Premier League because Legon Cities elusu 1-0 and a Nations FC Suko lusu 2-0. So if we are considering those conversations there, then it appears that Eye Kotoko ene etimi aye sorokoda about that top of the Ghana Premier League based on the kind of scoreline a course so other venues. The most important thing is you getting a win. I mean, we talked about Karela, a team that so check it last season. Matches on the Kotoko, you know, my Kotoko intense headache. Or Nikotoko bebo one draw Kumase. Or share Kotoko 2 Tamale. Emma in I adventuring. But this season, Kotoko Timia Teno, Enya a home and away win. Okaya last season, you started second round, no? Kotoko first match or boy, ne FA Cup against Karela na Kotoko Lusu. The moment I Kotoko Lusu sa match against Karela Nyoma Basa. But then Kotoko Timia Dunkunimo when Lucy, and that is positive for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Quickly, this is what the Ghana Premier League table is saying. And from March day 5, our Kotoko beda topper or Santi free top num. Now Kotoko is back on top of the Ghana Premier League with 34 points. And no ayon komodi or enti ubenya a year had to folk ball draw against Baseke. Inti Babiani Gold Stars Lusui. Tiene Kotoko ababe sign Babiani Gold Stars by 1 point. Kotoko shed 21 goals in the Ghana Premier League joint in terms of goals scored. Meaning, recently the goal scoring ratio of Asante Kotoko improving when you are looking at the conversation. I mean, this was a Kotoko team. No, I one goal project time. You can want some say one goal need the one goal and but the social league table now. Nations FC and Asante Kotoko and they are the top teams in terms of goals scored in the Ghana Premier League. And Nations FC asset 21 goals and Asante Kotoko so asset 21 goals, which is positive for Asante Kotoko when it comes to a year in Comodianum for Asante Kotoko. Now the goals is coming. You cannot win the Ghana Premier League when you are not scoring goals. You need goals to win the Premier League. At the same time, whilst you are scoring goals, you need to have a solid defense. He says, "So check here, Kotoko conceded 12 goals, though, but it looks like Kotoko Baba Rano only had to folk one concede, only future stars one concede, only accelerate one concede, only goal stars one concede, and only Karela one concede, and only Vision FC. So 6 matches. So what you say? 6 matches played at the Baba Sports Stadium. Kotoko conceded just 1 goal. FA Cup one concede, and a league near 4 one concede 1 goal. It means that there has been an improvement in the defensive shape of Asante Kotoko compared to when the league started, compared to how Kotoko concede. Now Kotoko is keeping the clean sheet. So checking league now, yes, Nations FC still have the best defense, so I conceded 9 goals. By Nations free, now you had to folk or 10, Heart of Lions 10, Babian Gold Stars 10. You see Kotoko in the picture, you see Samates in the picture. It means that goals now necessity near and then one other thing that if you are talking about things you observe in today's game, Yanfan Kanwa a bit of disservice is that we check it Kotoko match a boy against Vishina. There were a lot of chances which was created. Lot of chances. Emma Kotoko Bebre Emma, some of us were even complaining, saying that we need to work on our finishing, But the truth of the matter is that in today's game, Karela find a way of limiting the kind of chances I could create here. One thing you should know is that ball na Kotoko ball no cranny say 11 na a ball back na a boy. So what I say, 11 ball back and one a boy. But they were able to create chance against Vision FC. Vision FC, so I just about 10 men. Now the same number of players, 11. But could create chances. But today, could continue create chances. And also idea back one. I see they can't come on home. Near her Asante Kotoko fix it when it comes to the conversation. I've seen people talk about Tinedu, saying at least to some extent, you know, Tinedu a game man kebebwa. And that was why I was talking about the substitutions of Coach Ogum. I was not impressed with the substitutions of Coach Ogum in today's game. But yeah, can you know after 18 matches? What do you say? Kotoko Ababe that top of the Ghana Premier League table. After 18 matches, Kotoko is on top of the Ghana Premier League table. Kotoko ewo matches da omenim. Kotoko eko wenchi to play against Young Apostles. Uti Nkomono. Kotoko wenchi to play against Young Apostles. Now this is the trick. Kotoko enya issues with teams na Omodasiano. And then you say KARELA. The last 5 matches in the league on an sapa or poor performance in the last five matches in the Ghana Premier League also and Asante Kotoko at the moment on the last year of the league table. KARELA before this match no lose to Midiama, no Young Apostles Asheno, no lose to Nsuatremai. So what you say? And I got question. They were so bad, but unfortunately, Ombeshia Kotokono, you send your money heading. So it means that the technical team still have a lot of work to do. And you can see a year match boy. The next game no, any form of any JB abeshemu. But also be a comment said the next match is against Nsuatre. Okay, sorry. The next match, so Kotoko, sorry about that. Yes, setting the record straight. Thank you very much. The next 2 matches, Kotoko kwa away. Answer Kotoko aboho mienu atuaso. So the next 2 matches, Kotoko kwa away, mienu in the Ghana Premier League. So it means that we have to try as much as possible to improve. This is what is expected. Kotoko bebo in Suatre on the 2nd of February. That is next week. Away. Then we will play Young Apostles, another away game. The 2 away matches for Kumasi Asante Kotoko in the month of February. Before Siebebo Brekum Chelsea, then we'll go and play against Accra Lions. Into the next 4 matches for Asante Kotoko, away near 3. And if we can survive this, then it improves our chances when it comes to a year winning the Ghana Premier League. On said the Gold Stars go away, Nations go away. The next round of matches, Gold Stars bebo fie, Nations bebo fie, Heart to Football bebo fie against Heart of Lions. So what I'm going to say. What this means is that then Asante Kotoko need to do everything possible to make sure they survive these matches to keep themselves up there. So when Timmy survive these matches, it means that we are not but we will be free. So the next 4 matches will be crucial for Asante Kotoko. So we beg the head coach to work on his substitutions. Now, in terms of players available, the Engineer say Kotoko is one of the best recruitment in terms of giving the head coach options. So coach need options in terms of substitutions. No matter how difficult the game is, the coach need options. And we must make good use of these options. Player or start here while you're slow, you take him out, you introduce a new person. Player at the free bench bar. On team stabilize the game, we make changes so that we make good use of the options. Or more bench, you make good use of it when it comes to the conversation. Asante Kotoko. So, you team nabaso. You form about support D&D. On my idea, if the results was a different way, me sure say over nipa 700 am gusu share no and kebe kan wasem. Yes, Eduku has not impressed. I know there. So far he has not impressed. so far Coach Ogum so try. Go as a first match no born as a winger. And now born as a supporting striker together with Kwame Poku our front two system. So some of the players we need time. Just like a year Kwame Poku team hit the ground running, no. Ebi any player behind a bit hit the ground running from the word go when it comes to the affairs of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But the biggest story of the day is that Kotoko now is on top of the Ghana Premier League, leading Babiani Gold Stars by 1 point, leading Heart of Lions by 1 point, leading Nations FC by 2 points, leading Bechem United by 4 points, leading Heart to Folk by 4 points, and leading Midiama by 8 points in the Ghana Premier League. Babiani Gold Stars in G League neda, Heart of Lions in G Bida, Nations in G Bida, Bechem United in G Bida. So this is their first time. Kotoko is the most successful team when it comes to the league. So winning the league, don't forget Kotoko coach Awaji league ni be paying. Kotoko will have their way. But has Awaji be paying no, you're chaining 4 points. Medium Awaji be paying no, you're chaining 8 points. All that is needed now is consistency in how Asante Kotoko will play in the remaining matches ahead of us. If we can maintain the consistency in this game, I believe that Asante Kotoko ebetimi move forward. Aye Jumano Eddie Amayen. So a lot of job to be done, but let's see how things will go. Yes, Obi say when who Lord Amwa in a signature round, and that is why be a coach di change Jamana Bae to come and support him. But more on that later. It was a game that most of the Kotoko players were average. Just that they met a tougher opponent. I think in terms of energy, stamina, KARELA-10THINGS will be par. But the good news that Kotoko team are finding ways of winning the game. And that is why we give credit to the entire Asante Kotoko team. In Komo Bebri Beba, Baha and Yedi Jumedi Abesi. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and enjoy more from ASA Obed and the guys at Porcupine Stand. Yadamunyina Mase, the best share later when you talk about other things in the game. Bye-bye.